Hey man, it's me, Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, and all those terrible Jay and Silent Bob type pictures, man. You're listening to Drop the Mic, the only podcast that I listen to that I'm not a part of. Every podcast I listen to, I usually talk on it, but not fucking Drop the Mic. That's where I'm like, let me hear what the boys have to say. And now, we drop the mic.
I just think we ought to wait till after you graduate.
I don't.
It's only a month.
Janet, a month.
Please.
It's all right. I personally consider us engaged as of now. Congratulations.
David, no.
Look, you can say yes in a taxi. I have a 2:30 appointment.
I'm staying right here.
Oh, afraid you'll say yes?
I'll see you tonight at Brandon's party.
Okay. You can say yes there just as well as in a taxi. Goodbye, darling.
Bye.
That's the last time she ever saw him alive. And that's the last time you'll ever see him alive. What happened to David Kentley changed my life completely, and the lives of 7 others. Janet Walker, Henry Kentley, the boy's father, his aunt, Mrs. Atwater, his best friend, Kenneth Lawrence, a housekeeper named Mrs. Wilson, and the 2 who were responsible for everything, Brandon Shaw and Philip Morgan.
Welcome back to Drop the Mic. We are your hosts, Wesley Swanson and Ryan Jimenez, and this is episode 344 of One Ugly Murder, where we will be taking you all back to the late 40s to discuss Alfred Hitchcock's Rope. But first, let's get warmed up, shall we? What's up, Ryan? How are you?
What's up? How's it going? It's we're finally in the studio again.
I know, right?
It's cool. Everyone gets to hear my voice in crystal clear HD.
Yep. Yeah. They're like, hey, he doesn't sound like he's on FM radio today.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
So I don't have much, but I do have a couple. Kind of small. And like a super big blow to physical media, Microsoft is expected to have a mass layoff this week. And it's including the closure of departments dedicated to bringing physical games to market. The last couple of weeks we've been talking about Best Buy and all these other retailers kind of getting rid of everything. So looks like Microsoft is trying to kind of get away from physical games, which kind of sucks.
Everybody's doing this, huh?
Sucks, dude. It's weird. I don't know. I think what's going to happen is it's just everything's going to go away, and then they're going to figure out shit like maybe we shouldn't have gone away from physical stuff. I'm sure they won't like fully go away, but I mean, you even see now with like limited editions and collector editions with like games, there's not as much and they're not like as extravagant. And then you have games like Alan Wake, which don't even get a physical release. Kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's weird times. But speaking on that, I've felt like this has been a slow transition thing since we started moving away from DVDs. I don't know if you remember, but I feel like special edition DVDs were fucking badass. Like the art direction and everything, it felt like they put so much effort into deluxe edition stuff. Yeah. And with the Blu-ray, especially when Blu-ray was like a fresh thing, they were super bare bones transfers, for a long time, and we are just like now getting companies like Arrow putting out like these fancy nice like physical media copies with the nice 4K transfers and shit, but it's definitely few and far between as far as what's available.
Yeah, I remember like any type of big blockbuster would come with like a booklet or like an extra, like a soundtrack or just really nice packaging. And something that I think I always think about is the first Hellboy. It came with like that double disc and it had like the book.
Yeah.
And it came with like a whole bunch of extra features, but the packaging was super nice. And it was just DVD. It wasn't Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But I never put that together. Where you're right, when Blu-rays hit, like kind of just went bare bones.
Yeah, for a long time I was against even collecting again, like transferring what I had on Blu-ray, just because I thought they looked ugly.
Yeah,
the shorter boxes and everything. It was like weird to get used to.
Yeah,
but what can you do?
Yeah, it sucks. So I got one little more piece and some box office news. Kind of crazy. Anyone But You, the film starring Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell, has grossed $100.2 million worldwide.
How much did it take to make?
I think it was like less than like 20, dude.
Wow.
It's the highest grossing R-rated romantic comedy since 2016's Bridget Jones' Baby.
Whoa.
So if you think of it, that's wild, dude. Almost 8 years.
I know it's still playing.
Yeah, it is. My local theater too. It's like one of the only movies that has like a good amount of screenings too, like times. Good for them. I mean, it's always good to see a movie that's like not related to any franchise or a sequel or prequel or reboot. So it's cool.
I see a lot of people out there, or hear a lot of people say, when they announce like the next reboot or something, they're like, oh, there's no good, Hollywood doesn't crank out any original stories. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But you guys don't fucking go and pay attention.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do.
This is proof. Like, it's not something technically that me and you would, I mean, I want to see it now. I've heard good things about it. I heard it's funny, but it's not typically something like I would go out of my way to see. But I mean, it's good for, like what you just said, stuff like that, and people like that who are always complaining about things like that.
And Sydney Sweeney. Duh.
Isn't that fool Glenn Powell going to be? Did you see that trailer that dropped on Netflix? What's his name's in the movie? Richard Linklater.
Oh yeah, School of Rock guy.
Yeah, School of
Yeah.
Rock. Yeah, he's him and Glenn Powell. I think Glenn Powell like wrote it, and he's what's his name's directing it. Got Netflix with the exclusive, like what's his name? Fincher.
Yeah,
he just signed. He like extended his deal, right?
For 3 more years, something like that.
How many more movies do you think they're gonna get out of one?
Mindhunter. Okay, cool. Short and sweet.
Short, yeah.
I had one. It's kind of small, but I thought it was interesting. So screenwriter Diablo Cody recently announced that she has not forgotten about Jennifer's Body and would like to do a sequel sometime soon. Now, this movie's pretty weird, and I remember being against it when it first came out. It's with Megan Fox and
Amanda Seyfried.
There you go. Do you like this movie? The first Jennifer's Body?
I do, dude. And you know what's crazy is that I was kind of like you on the fence, and I didn't want to go see it in theaters, and I don't think I saw it in theaters. And then when it released on DVD, I remember when I went to go rent it, like at like Redbox or something, and I was like, it's pretty good. Like I dig it. And since then, has like a big cult following.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's because they kind of slyly snuck this like feminist take to it that I felt like a lot of people who probably initially went to that theatrical one went to see Megan Fox or whatever. No sexy time, whatever, and that's not it at all what they got. They got a succubus fucking murdering boys and shit.
I read that too, and I heard she said, I think Diablo said that it's like the goriest, scariest thing she's ever written.
Yeah,
so that's pretty gnarly. I mean, that's cool. Hopefully, we get to see it. And she has Lisa Frankenstein, right, coming out. And that's the directorial debut of Zelda, right? A couple weeks, I think, in February, the first week of February. That looks awesome.
My question to you, as far as Jennifer's Body goes, if they do a sequel, should they go theatrical or streaming somewhere? Because I know the first one did not do well.
I think they can get away with another theatrical, especially if they don't they do it kind of on the cheap, which I'm sure they could. But yeah, I think it has a big enough following now that they could get away with putting it out on the big screen.
All right. Do you want to talk about the Rumble?
Yes, I do. It was in my Rex, but yeah, we'll talk about it that we just watched.
Yeah, we just watched it together.
It's kind of crazy. I think all the matches kind of went the way we thought they were going to go.
Mm-hmm.
That first match, the Women's Royal Rumble, it was really good. There's a couple surprise entrances. The knockout champ from TNA, Naomi coming back from, she's been gone, I think, since for about a little over a year, and she went to TNA, had the belt, kind of put her name out there and like put TNA on her back, and then came back to WWE, which is awesome. So yeah, the women's match was pretty solid. A little bit of surprise to see like Becky and Bianca kind of go, well, Becky for sure kind of going a little earlier than we would like. And then spoilers, this is obviously, if you're listening to us and you follow wrestling, you already know, but Bayley wins that, which I was rooting for because she's kind of got the shit end of the stick the last year, like barely winning any singles matches. And I think her she put in her dues, dude. She put over a lot of people within that year, losing as the amount she did and being kind of the heel.
Crazy stuff.
That second match, we were both kind of pissed off about. I think everyone's tired of Roman's bullshit.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I love what he's done for the company, and like he's like, you know, the it dude. But it's time for someone to knock him off. I also too, I really wish, and that's why they brought that heavyweight title and put it on Seth. But it kind of put them in a corner having him with both belts, you know, because you just had him on SmackDown, you didn't have a title on Raw, and that's why they kind of came up with this heavyweight title. And Seth has been kind of the fighting champion. But even now, like, it would be nice for them to split that belt up. I know it's like a big thing, undisputed, and you carry both belts, but I think they could still get away with having the Raw, the SmackDown, and the heavyweight championship, and then you have the US and the Intercontinental kind of mid-tier titles. But LA Knight kind of fucking ruled during that match. I think he was the bright star of that match.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was going off.
And then Randy with his RKOs that are just out of nowhere. I think that guy enjoys being, like, he enjoys being an asshole. And when he's on the biggest stage is the kind of when he shines brightest, Randy Orton. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. He has an RKO off of Roman, tries to spear him, and he's like fucking 10 feet in the air, and he RKOs him, which is pretty awesome. And then what else? Oh, the US Championship. It was really good. It was one of the better false finishes that I've seen in a while, and one of the better DQ finishes. Usually they just kind of abruptly end, and I was yelling. I thought that KO had won. I think everybody in the crowd thought he'd won, and the ref had noticed right when he counted to 3 that he had the brass knuckles that Logan snuck on. And then he went on and just beat the shit out of him, put him through a table after the match, which is always fun. But I think I said it off air to you, but I don't think Logan's going to carry that title for much longer. I'm pretty sure he'll have a title shot at Elimination Chamber just because he's Logan. They want him in that big stage in Australia. And then he's probably going to drop it at Mania, dude. I don't see him holding that belt for much longer, especially with all the hot baby faces they have. WWE has so many good guys that it's kind of insane. And then we got to the main event, the Men's Royal Rumble, which was awesome. Pretty much went how we thought it was going to go. I like the fact that they did start with Jimmy and Jay. Maybe that's setting up something further down the line. It'd be awesome. They've never fought each other like that, so that was kind of the first time, one of the first times. I think they have, but not like that. And then it'll be nice for them to get maybe like a Mania match out of that. I think that Jay is pretty big right now. He's another babyface that's huge right now with the crowd that's super over. We get to the end of the Men's Royal Rumble. The Men's Royal Rumble didn't have too many surprises. Andrade came back. He left WWE, went to AEW, and then got like released, and now he's back with WWE. And then what else was there? Pat McAfee.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading online though that was maybe Brock's spot.
Oh,
and since he was pulled, they just kind of had to figure something out. But yeah, the men's match had Carmelo from NXT, Braun Breaker. Fucking speared the shit out of a whole bunch of people, which he usually does. Speaking of Braun Breaker, I think they need to him and Carmelo would like definitely need to come up to the main roster. Like those guys have been in NXT for a while, especially Braun. And then who was the final four? It was Cody, Punk, Drew. No, Gunther.
Yeah, it was Gunther.
So who I think Cody threw Gunther over the ropes. Punk did McIntyre. And then we got a good like maybe 10-minute match between Cody and Punk where they beat the shit out of each other. Punk looked like he was like on his last legs because he's old. He still has it in the ring. Like you can see, he can still perform and he sells really well. And then Cody walks away with the win, dude. Kind of crazy. Like I said, I'm as we're talking, we're both wearing CM Punk shirts, right? matching CM Punk shirts. Obviously, I wanted Punk to win so he can get that main event at Mania because he's never main evented Mania. But Cody's gonna finish that fucking story, dude. He's gonna dethrone Roman. It's gonna be night 2. It's gonna be fucking awesome, and he'll be the face of WWE for years to come. I honestly think he's gonna, just like Cena took that era. I think the next and Roman kind of in the middle ground the last couple years. But I really think Cody's gonna fucking take WWE to the fucking moon, along with the entire roster. But yeah, dude. Overall, it was a pretty solid Rumble. I think I would have maybe liked a couple more surprises. It was really cool to see. Forgetting her name, I think was it Jordan Grace from TNA. So that means TNA and WWE kind of have like a nice relationship. It would be how awesome would it be for AEW or Tony Khan to stop being a shithead. And for them to work something out.
They probably won't do that anytime soon.
Fuck no.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
They just put on season 7 of The Office Superfan episodes. So they're kind of almost done. They got 2 more seasons left, and then all those seasons will be Superfan episodes. This one... it's pretty good. It's really good. I think I've wrecked the Superfan episodes before, but if you're a big Office fan, they have tons of scenes and deleted scenes that I've never seen, storylines sometimes that they cut out. It's awesome if you're an Office fan. Check them out on Peacock. It's legit one of the only reasons why I got Peacock, and now we use it for WWE. Just because we're doing Hitchcock, if you haven't checked out any other Hitchcock movies, which I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, dig into his library, dude. He is the master of suspense for a reason. Even the Hitchcock Presents, all that stuff. I don't know if that's streaming. I'm sure it's streaming somewhere. Check that out. But yeah, go and watch Hitchcock, man.
Yeah, go back and listen to our Psycho episode.
Yeah, I think that was the very first episode I did. I got 2 more. 2 more. We've been playing a lot of Fortnite. I like kind of dabbled in it, played a couple hours here and there over the last couple of years, but never really like dug into it. I was always Warzone, Call of Duty. And then like a month or 2 ago, I started getting really into it, and it's literally all I've been playing other than like Madden or trying to finish Alan Wake. But I think it's up there with one of the better multiplayers out right now. Like I think I have more fun playing Fortnite than I do Warzone.
It's pretty fun. I'm not a big Warzone guy or Call of Duty guy anymore. So it's cool to find this kind of alternative to co-op with you. Yeah.
And then final thing I got is a music rec, actually, from a Pawn Stone. They're like a melodic death metal band from the San Fernando Valley. They have a new record out called Dead Mother Moon. The fucking album art is fucking awesome. It makes you want to fucking grab a bottle of mead and go slay fucking dragons. The album artwork and the music. If that's your type of shit, it's fucking awesome. Go check it out.
So for this week, I just wanted to give another shout out to True Detective Season 4. If you don't like waiting week by week, let it stack up and then binge it all. It's fucking good, though, so far.
I saw... are they hinting at it being connected with the others or the first one?
I'm not... yeah. Well, yeah, but I don't want to say how.
So do you think, like, I've seen the first season, I didn't see the last season, 3.
Yeah.
Do you think, and then Sandy hasn't seen any of it. Do you think we should go and watch everything and then check 4 out?
I mean, I think if you watched 4 first, and then just backtracked, you'd probably still be fine. And it might be even cooler, like where you're like, oh shit, this is connected, because 4 will be fresh in your mind. Going back and watching, 1 and shit, you'd probably be like picking up on more clues, even more so, maybe. That's just my take.
Because they've always kind of hinted at everything being kind of connected, right? All 3 seasons, and like it kind of looks like, from what I was reading, like I don't know any spoilers, but from what I was reading, it kind of looks like it's either they're like it's gonna happen, or it is like it really all is connected. Fuck yeah, dude! I gotta check it out.
Another thing, I just rewatched the Northman. Fucking good, man.
I know, I haven't seen it. I'm sorry, Robert Eggers.
I think I'd only watched it one time in the theater. It was beautiful. It's on Stars now. For anybody who has Stars, you can watch it. Insane cast. Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Bjork, Nicole Kidman, fucking Ethan Hawke. The list goes on and on.
Is it how's it
I think it was my favorite of its year.
Of the year?
Yeah.
Skarsgård, is it dude, my favorite Infinity Pool is my favorite Skarsgård because
don't let Emma hear you say that. It's like, what?
Folks, she just told me that I don't like anything. Moving forward. No, dude, like that character is just not anything like you would think Skarsgård would play.
Yeah.
It's like the complete opposite. And so that's why I think that's my favorite Skarsgård role, dude.
Yeah, taking the big swings. We respect that.
And Mia Goth, and that is...
Like I said, man, maybe that's just how she really is.
Yeah, fuck, dude, yeah, you know what? She's unhinged in all her movies. Maybe that's how really she is. Is it your favorite Eggers movie?
Well, he has The Witch, The Lighthouse, and that's it? The Northman? I'm going to say yes, because I think it's his most ambitious. It's his first, like, epic, you know?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And now for the movie focus of the week.
So, we're talking about a little film called Rope. It's rated PG. It's from 1948, and it's considered a crime drama. It runs at a very short 1 hour and 20 minutes, and it's got a 93 on Rotten. Written by Arthur Lawrence and directed by the great Alfred Hitchcock, starring James Stewart, John Dahl, Farley Granger, Cedric Hardwicke, Constance Collier, and Joan Chandler. Rope tells the minimalist story of 2 men, Brandon and Philip, who have just committed murder by killing a fellow prep school student, David Kentley, and instead of taking the body elsewhere, the 2 decide to store their fresh kill within a large chest in their New York skyrise home. Successfully storing the body and throwing a party just moments after makes for one tense and stylish psychological thriller. Rope was first a stage play in 1929 and was written by Patrick Hamilton and also produced and adapted by Alfred Hitchcock and Sidney Bernstein. This would also mark Hitchcock's first time working with a Technicolor camera and taking the experimenting even further. He would showcase the film as if it was taking place in real time with only one set to work with. However, there are several cuts in the film that are hidden, as film reels back then would only last about 10 minutes before having to reload. It's safe to say that the project was probably far ahead of its time, and a reflection of this would be its rejection at the box office, barely recouping what it took to produce. Many claim the film's 2 leads are meant to represent a same-sex couple. Could this have played a part in the lukewarm response at the time? Regardless of that, Rope is still rich and filled with bright personality, impressive acting cues, and camera work, and it's truly a sight to behold, even all these years later. if you haven't seen this, and we're we're certain you probably haven't, because almost no one has, please seek this out as one of Hitchcock's undervalued masterpieces. 4 broken wine glasses out of 5. Thank you. As we talked about last week at the end of that show, I had never seen this before. This was my first time, but I want to hear you. I want to hear you pitch it to me. Tell me why you love it so much.
I think I love it so much for the reasons why everyone fucking hated working on it and how it was like kind of shunned when it first came out, right? It's just so different than anything that was put out at that time. He, like you said, he dabbled in the Technicolor for the first time, and then on top of that, he does this batshit crazy thing where it looks like it's all in one take, and I think it adds to the story, honestly, because you kind of get the feeling like you're watching this unravel, and it's supposed to be in real time. I don't remember the first time I watched it. It's probably I was like in my teens when I first saw it. It wasn't the first Hitchcock movie I've seen, or even like the 4th or 5th. But someone had told me, hey, like you need to really watch this. It's like super crazy, and then the way he did it, and I started researching it, and like kind of like at that time I was kind of infatuated with everything Hitchcock and what he was doing. So reading up on it and how he went about making this movie and how everyone thought he was fucking insane for doing it the way he did, just made me love him even more. This is in my top 10 of all time, just because I, like I've talked about on the show before, like Hitchcock is near and dear to my heart because it's one of the things that got me into the type of movies that I love. But that's just not the only reason why it's in my top 10. But yeah, man, I can't see anything better about it. I fucking love it. And every time I bring it up to people, they're like, Rope with Hitchcock? It's like, yeah, dude, Rope. Like, Jimmy Stewart's in it. No, when's it from? Yeah, like 48. No, I haven't fucking seen it. Hitchcock movie from 48, dude. Enough about me, because you know I love it. What about you? This was your first watch. I want to know everything you thought about it.
So watching it, I went into it cold. The only thing that I had seen and maybe some steals and the old school poster art and stuff. So I had no idea what to expect from the story aspect, and I damn sure didn't expect the way that it was executed. So when I realized what they were doing, I thought to myself, God damn, you sneaky son of a bitch, Ryan. This is so good. Of course you love this movie because it's fucking awesome. And everybody's crazy that they think that they thought that this was so weird. Dude, this is like, this is being inventive. This is breaking the rules, and asking more of your team, especially with knowing that like the set had breakaway walls, because the Technicolor camera was so fucking huge or whatever. And they had a crew behind everybody, like, waiting for the actors and their cues to reset up the walls and reset up everything. It's insane because, that everybody had to be on point. Otherwise, it would have taken forever to get done. So that's super impressive to me from a technical standpoint, because you don't, even today, yeah, there's a few movies, like, have you ever seen Silent House with Elizabeth Olsen?
Yeah.
I think that was kind of like a breakout role for her. She wasn't really known before then. That is all a one continuous take. They never break away. Supposedly, there are ways to do fly cuts on the fly where you can't tell, supposedly, but that's supposed to be all together. And I love that shit, but it must be really fucking a pain.
Yeah, I know reading about it. James Stewart said like it wasn't even the rehearsals like the actors had to do. It was like the rehearsals with all the camera and movement around they had to do. That was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
and he had said at the time like I think he told him like, it's fucking, this is crazy, dude. and only Hitchcock would have pulled it off, and he did. But James Stewart said basically like it was fucking a terrible experience.
I could see that because I don't know, it's too much pressure. But you would never know when you watch the movie because I feel like everybody is so natural, or as natural as you can be in that time. You got to take yourself back into how they spoke back then, you know. But that dialogue is also so interesting because it is very much a dialogue-driven film. Besides, when you open up the movie, spoilers if you haven't seen this, we start the movie, there's the title crawl outside, the only outside establishing shot, right? And then our two leads kill David, strangle him, throw him in the thing, and that's how you start your movie. You don't even know who these fucking guys are. But then the way they carry themselves and how you said that word, you said unravel, that's pretty much what you're watching is like their plan being spoiled by somebody who is just too smart for his own good, in a sense. It was cool, man. Definitely a great first experience.
Yeah, dude. And it just the way it's done and everything, it adds to that suspense, right? Like you're watching everything unfold and unravel in real time, and you start kind of get a little bit like you start maybe panic. Like the first time I watched it, I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like they're not gonna get away with it, or they're gonna get away with it, and then it's just kind of snowballs, and the guy's being an idiot, and if he would have just kind of stopped doing what he was doing and stopped being an asshole and kind of being what's that word I'm looking for? He was just being like super like obnoxious about it and like thinking he was gonna get away with it, and that's kind of maybe like the social commentary on it too, like two rich upper class dudes thinking they can get away with something like that, and that's the reason why they do it in the first place, because they had James Stewart was like a psychology teacher, right, and he told him this, he gave him this speech in class, and so they thought they could get away with it, but
he inspired them.
Yeah, he inspired them to do it, and then at the end, obviously spoilers if you haven't, but fucking it's like 100 years. He's the one who kind of catches on and puts two and two together, because they invite everybody. Not only do they kill this person, their classmate, they invite people that know him, their classmates, his parents, right, to this dinner party because they kind of want to get like off on. They like want that rush, that shit. We just killed this guy. He's literally in this box in the same room that we're serving dinner on.
Yeah, they were gonna serve in the kitchen, and then these sick bastards are like, no. Let's serve off of this random box.
And one of the guys is like, no, we shouldn't do this. And the other one who's being super obnoxious about it is like, no, like let's do this. And at the end, Jimmy Stewart is the one who kind of puts two and two together. So he kind of figures it out. But yeah, man, everything from the beginning to end, it's like you just can't take your eyes off of it. And this might be like a little bit of a hot take too, but for what he was doing at the time and like what he did, I feel like it should probably get as much love as like Psycho did with that shower scene, except for this is a whole fucking movie and the way he did it,
Yeah. Because and you got to think about the themes that he's playing with here are super taboo.
Mm-hmm.
You got, as you said, like a rich upper class white men thinking that they're superior, and trying to show this superiority in the most lethal way. And then you have that professor who's given this lecture on and inspired these two to and they're using his words as almost an alibi. Well, you told us this is okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're just acting out what you said.
Yeah.
And that's like, you can tell that Philip is he's the crazy one, right? That he's a sociopath. Like nothing bothers him.
Mm-hmm.
And you see he gets more and more unhinged as you creep to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Brendan has he's the other side of the coin, where he was kind of coerced into this. He probably didn't actually want to do it. and was manipulated, and he has a conscience.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell him slowly realizing what they had done, and he feels bad. So it's interesting, the parallels there. And then what are your thoughts on, do you think that they were lovers?
I mean, I think in real life, one of them was supposedly gay.
Uh-huh.
So, and he was years later, I think I was reading that he was asked about why you think it was kind of shunned when it first came out. And he, no one would have known, no one knew. And if they did, he doesn't think that would have been the case because you can't really tell. But I think now, like obviously years and years from now, we look into it and we see things. It definitely seems like there was some kind of undertones, right? But I think that's the genius of Hitchcock, dude. Like,
I believe that writer was also gay.
Yeah.
But that was never something that him and Hitchcock ever really like talked about. So it wasn't. It was in his subconscious writing it. But I was just curious on your perspective.
And also too, like how insane is a movie opening like that in 1948 with someone being killed and them hiding the body.
Yeah. Just seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Almost like wanting to be caught.
Yeah.
Good shit, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Because I think it was, I think 2 years ago they released like the main like Psycho, Rear Window, Vertigo, and I think like the
Birds.
The Birds, in that 4-pack, and they released them individually 4K. And this year was one of the ones they did 4K and remastered. So it's out there 4K if you want to get it in digitally too. So because I have at my parents' house I have like this, dude. It was tough getting this physically. Like I had to search, and I finally found it. And when I bought it, like maybe 7-8 years ago, it was like $30 DVD.
Wow.
But yeah, man, it's just so underappreciated, and you don't really think Hitchcock could have something like that, underappreciated. But this one truly is, and I'd been wanting to do it for a while. So, just to kind of highlight it, because I know a lot of people out there haven't seen it.
Definitely check this out.
And very different for James Stewart too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was some things at the end that I would have probably changed, or I would have done being in that scenario where the cigarette case where he says, "Oh, I left it up there. Can I come back up?" And he kind of puts it on that, what do you call, on the chest.
Mm-hmm.
I would have, while the camera was off and they're fucking around in the kitchen, I would have put it inside with the body. So that everybody's looking around, and then you're like, oh, well, let me look in here. And so they have and they're like, oh, But that's just me being weird. Screenwriter. That's where I thought it was leading. Having not seen it, I thought he was going to do some crazy shit like that. Like, no, it's right here.
And open it.
Yeah. It was also an interesting take to me that they never show you the body, even though you've seen the body in the opening moments.
Yeah,
they don't ever show you again. It becomes almost like a Tarantino motif when he opens it up and he's like, "Oh my god, what have you guys done?"
And it's there the entire movie. Like we said, it's shot literally in the same room. The hour and 20 minutes is either in the kitchen. No, it doesn't even go into the kitchen. It's just a dining room and like that living room.
You
area.
see inside the kitchen.
You see inside the kitchen. So you're constantly thinking about it, and you're hearing them talk about this person who was just killed. His family comes over and they don't know where he's at, and you kind of see both main characters, and one of them's kind of like, ooh, like he doesn't know what's happening. The other one looks like he's kind of legitimately kind of like getting the rush off of it.
Yep. Yep. Philip grabs it. He gets ready with a gun.
Yeah. What other since we're talking about Hitchcock, what are do you have a favorite Hitchcock? Is this up there now?
Oh yeah, this would be up there. I like of course the Psycho, Birds. I like all of his stuff. He's still like what I've seen. At least what I've seen. Pretty heavy hitter.
I like Rear Window a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
And Vertigo.
Rear Window has been replicated a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got references in Simpsons. You got
Disturbia. Rihanna. Yeah. And then I haven't finished it, but the Vertigo video game is pretty good, dude.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like Telltale, where you're kind of doing stuff like that. But yeah,
that's what I thought.
Did you read about how like it was like done on like one of the biggest sound stages at the time, like of all time?
I did
and
read
the outside, the set pieces outside, because it's kind of like they have like a penthouse, right? And you see outside in the windows, and you see like the skyline. I think it's like Chicago.
Yep.
Those set pieces were like the biggest set pieces at the time, because you see like clouds and you see buildings and you see smoke out of chimneys. The clouds change. I think they're like glass or something. They were made of glass, something like that. So that was really interesting to see, because it looks good, dude. Like it looks.
Oh yeah.
And especially for that time.
Yeah, the way that it was framed and everything, you have to really look to see that it's not real. And you totally buy it. Did you know that there was I think it's towards the middle of the film, there is a Hitchcock cameo with his profile. Yeah. It's his profile blinking red. And then it says something perfume or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's Hitchcock, dude. He always has to be in him.
Yeah.
He's not but he's not, he didn't go
he's not M. Night Shyamalan
or the Tarantino route of being some.
You remember in Planet Terror when he's hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta get my dick wet. What the fuck?
I like the Django.
Oh yeah. Well, look at now. He's got his other theater, the Vista.
I need to go check that out, dude.
With Pam's Coffee, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty lit.
They got fucking RC Cola on tap. RC Cola, dude. My grandparents, my great grandparents. That's what you went to their house. They fucking had RC Cola. Like that was the soda. I gotta check that out. They have like all the props too, right? From Kill Bill.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Coco Ibari.
Why do you think no one bought what's it called?
What?
The one by the old amoeba.
Oh, Cinerama Dome.
Yeah. Had you ever seen a movie there?
Yeah, I saw the first Deadpool there.
Oh shit.
Then I saw that newer Amazon original, the Joaquin Phoenix. I was never really there.
Oh yeah, dude, that was good.
That's another one that people, I feel like they never gave it a chance.
That's fucking good.
It's a good movie. Like you talk about like a premise that we've seen a million times done right.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know that got a theatrical release.
It did.
Oh shit.
It did.
And you know who would be there for the theatrical release? You.
Hey man, what can I say, dude?
Yeah, I never got to see a movie there. So hopefully they open it up again.
You'd love it, man. It's
those dome theaters, dude.
Yeah.
Those are the fucking best. We had one in San Jose right across from the Winchester Mystery House. That was I think it was the last 70 millimeter screen in the like South Bay, the Bay Area.
Oh yeah?
It was fucking massive, dude.
They took it out?
It's gone. They were gonna I thought they were gonna I think they saved the sign, like a historical landmark for San Jose, but we thought they were gonna save it. But no, like you legit, like if you had to like look up, dude, that's how fucking big it was. It was massive.
Wow.
I saw so much. I saw episode 1, Phantom Menace. I saw Attack of the Clones there. Waited 13 hours in line for the Phantom Menace.
Do you like those movies? I'm not talking about Little Ryan. I'm talking about you now.
I think they're given like kind of the shit end of the stick. They're not great movies, right? They're no fucking the first trilogy,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
But I think there's stuff that you can take away from that first one. You know, that the Qui-Gon battle. Who did John Williams did the score, right? That fucking Duel of the Fates. The second one is ass though.
Attack of the Clones.
I'd put Phantom Menace over the Attack of the Clones. I know a lot of people like Django. And then Revenge of the Sith is pretty good, I think, right?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. I fucking hate all three of those movies. Can't stand them. Pod racing, bullshit.
See, Emma, I do like things.
I'm just first of all, I've never been a super big Star Wars guy, but it's the original trilogy all day for me. I can't stand the prequels.
Star Wars is something that, like, my uncles and my dad kind of like got me into loving sci-fi and like going to the movies and going to the theaters, hearing my dad talk about him and his brothers going to that original, waiting hours in line to see that first Star Wars. So I think that was kind of the big thing for me, going to see Phantom Menace with my brother and my dad, like waiting all those hours to see it. So I think that's why I love it. But I think I can find things in that first and third one that I like, that I enjoy. The second one, dude, I don't know. That first one, that lightsaber battle is probably one of the better lightsaber battles.
Yeah, we were talking about trilogy. With Maul?
Yeah.
Of course. I mean...
So you gotta like some things, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying like...
And Liam Neeson, dude. Qui-Gon.
No comment. Yes, it's a good battle, but that's at the end of the goddamn movie. And it's 10 minutes tops of this long-ass movie. That's what I'm saying, dog. Like...
Yeah, but like I said, they're not great, but I can find things in them.
And Hayden Christensen in Revenge of the Sith, I don't know, man, kind of shitty acting.
Dude, don't.
And I like him.
Dude, hating on Hayden Christensen is like a sin, dude.
That's why on Fortnite you got real quiet, brother. I noticed that. I was all, this fool loves him.
I think he was just trying to be like a overly angsty.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. But did you see Obi-Wan? He's fucking awesome in that, dude.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, see, then
can't speak.
You got to watch Obi-Wan.
Like I said, I didn't say that I don't like him as an actor, but in that third movie, I don't know, dude.
And I heard he's awesome in Ahsoka. I haven't seen that.
What do you have? Where's your jumper poster framed? I know it's here somewhere.
Dude, that was supposed to be the next. He was supposed to be the next big thing. Dude, you want to know something?
What?
I fucking saw that shit in theaters, dude.
What, did you like it?
No. Jumping over fucking the pyramids.
It's a decent concept, but it was just not executed very great. That would be a cool power to have. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be a cool power to have. Did I ever tell you what happened to we went to go see at that movie theater, the Attack of the Clones? Did I tell you what happened?
No.
Or tell you what happened? So we waited, dude. Like I waited the first one we waited like 10 hours. This one, dude, I waited 13 hours. Literally, I waited 13 hours on my ass on the sidewalk to watch that fucking movie, the very first showing on that theater, because that was our theater to go to, right? It was the biggest screen in the Bay Area. Get to our seats, everything's cool. You know me, I gotta go get my fucking popcorn. So I go get my popcorn. I come back and it was like rowdy in there, dude. I don't know why it was rowdy in there. There was like fucking beach volleyballs being thrown everywhere. People were like throwing streamers and shit. It was like, you think it was like fucking Virgin Woodstock. So I have the biggest tub of fucking popcorn trying to get to my seat, and it's those, it's not stadium seating. It's a fucking little seats that like you have to like get up to fucking let someone go through. I'm almost to my seat, dude, and someone nails the fuck out of me with a beach volleyball, and my popcorn, dude, it was like a movie. It went fucking everywhere, like just exploded, dude. And I was like, well, I don't remember how old we were. I was like a teenager. I was like 14, 15 at the time. I had seen who did it, and I stood for a split second. I was gonna fucking knock his fucking head off. My dad like grabbed me. He was like, "Don't, Ryan, don't do anything right now. Don't get us kicked out of this movie theater." So I had to sit down and eat my fucking quarter of a popcorn that I paid probably $15 for. But yeah, dude, it was the most embarrassing fucking things ever, because everyone saw and everyone fucking laughed. Like, dude, I have these fucking nerds.
Did you know the kid?
No, I didn't know him, but I saw who did it. Like, it was
just
like,
a stranger?
It was just a stranger. And it wasn't just like, like if you're in an area like that, you're kind of like hitting the volleyball. No, dude, this fool fucking threw a fucking Randy Johnson 99 mile an hour fastball with the volleyball, with the beach volleyball, dude. And like you could hit my face, oh cool, but you hit my fucking popcorn, dog, and it just never forget that shit.
You did tell me that story, but I didn't know it was for Attack of the Clones.
It was Attack of the Clones. Samuel L. Jackson, Mace Windu,
Purple
lightsaber.
You let me just say this: you can't be protecting Hayden Christensen as Vader, but then you're like, oh no, Adam Driver sucked as Ben Solo. I'm not accepting that.
That's not what I said. I don't mind Adam Driver as Ben Solo or Kylo. I didn't mind him.
Okay.
What I didn't like was the fact that in that third one, he redeems himself. You redeem yourself from killing fucking Han Solo, your dad, and then the fucker J.J. Abrams just fucking kills him off. That's what I didn't like. Like him and Rey could have went off in the sunset, started their new Jedi temple, started the new shit, and kind of that's it. But you redeem someone, he goes ape shit on fucking Palpatine, and then and everybody, and then he just dies. Bullshit.
Wasn't it supposed to be alluded to that he kind of merged with Rey?
I think a little bit, yeah. But that was my like. I don't mind that trilogy. I think I like that trilogy more than 1, 2, and 3. Especially the second one because Rian Johnson, I think, did something like we always talk about different. But yeah, that was like my main gripe with that whole trilogy is that how do you do something like that to a character?
Maybe it was just them wanting to subvert expectations. Maybe like shake things up and make there be stakes. You know, because a lot of these trilogies that have like a huge fan base, they won't take people away permanently. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels there's a popcorn element to it. And going back to something like Fast and Furious, where I think nobody ever stays dead for some reason.
They owe me fucking money too, because now they're gonna go, like you said, they're gonna go back to bare bones Fast and the Furious. I've been saying that, like I've said that on a couple episodes. I know I have.
And how is it gonna make sense? Didn't you say it won't?
It won't, dude. I'm pretty sure I'm not ruining it for anybody because no one gives a shit about those movies. But that movie just fucking ends. Like something happens, Vin Diesel fucking flies a fucking car off the bridge, and that's where the fucking credits roll. And you see like Momoa like ho 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 like laughing, like evil laughing. You see the fucking car going, and then that's it.
And the credits roll. That's what I've heard, is that it's a very confusing ending, and they're like people are.
So it's like if they're gonna get rid of Momoa, how the fuck are they gonna do that? He just died off screen. And now we're just racing cars again in LA.
They're gonna do some like weird, like super quick narration recap.
And they're gonna, dude, I swear to fucking God, watch. They're gonna do this thing where they're gonna like jump in time so Vin Diesel's son can be older. Because in that movie, he's like 10. He's already fucking drifting a car and shit and driving. $10, dude. They fucking fast forward in time, and he's gonna be fucking like 20 years old.
Do you think they'll be trying? They're trying to bring Paul Walker back, right? Which is so disrespectful and weird.
First, that's another thing too. It doesn't, story-wise, it doesn't make any sense why Jordana Brewster's character came back. And, he wanted to walk away and he doesn't want to do this anymore. Why the fuck is she coming back then? Why is he letting her come back? Doesn't make any sense. And you could say maybe she wants the kid, because how many kids do they have? 1, 2? Yeah. I don't know, something like that. Maybe, she wants the kids to be around her brother or the family. It's just fucking her. She doesn't bring the kids. So Paul Walker's character is just fucking just babysitting over there. Well, his wife is in peril all the fucking times. Like I said, dude, around like the 7th one is where they just went fucking the Meg 2 and off the rails. Because I still stand, but that first one, dude, is a very good. It's a good fucking movie. Like it's good. They should, where they should have did is they should have ended it when Paul Walker passed away.
What was that, 7?
No, dude, that was
8.
It was like 5, dude, or 6.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Going back to Rope real quick, I did. I rented this digitally through the Apple Store, and they have a great transfer there. Looks amazing.
It's the 4K transfer.
Yeah. It's a 4K transfer, and then going on YouTube and checking it out. some of the source stuff, I was like, whoa, this looks really fucking rough compared to what I watched. I'm like, God damn.
48, dude.
What does your DVD look like? Does it look like...
Dude, it looked like that. And it's, dude, I swear, it was one of those DVDs that was just literally like the case, the cover, and the fucking, it's like $30 for nothing. But I needed it. Like, I needed to fucking get it. I had only seen it. I had only rented it, or I forgot where I watched it for the first time, and I had never owned it. But yeah, I scoured everywhere, and I finally found it. We went off the rails a little bit.
We did, but that was fun. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like that's what podcasts are about. And, you know, I feel like we get judged a lot because we don't have video. But what is with this bias of podcast must be on video now? We're not fucking Joe Rogan. You know? Or like what? Podcasts, isn't that audio? It's audio.
It is
audio based. I see and I don't mean to sound like an elitist. I promise you I'm not. But I see all of these people now that say that they have a podcast and they don't have equipment and they just shoot video. And they're like, this is my podcast.
Is that your Borat?
No, but I could do one. Is that very nice?
I mean, if we had video right now, you would just both see us in our fucking stupid CM Punk shirts in my small ass bedroom.
Everybody got mad at us because we didn't tell them we were going to be matching. When we got here, we didn't say it.
You guys, even my dog had a CM Punk shirt.
That was awesome. I knew about the joke because you posted
it. Go and watch Rope. I'm glad you liked it because I was kind of I had been wanting to do this, and I was kind of on the fence about doing such an old movie like this.
I'm not one of those people. I know they exist. That'll be like, I can't go back to that far. I can't, you know, they can't take it seriously. They can't sit through this. They claim that it's distracting, whatever. I'm not like that. I think it's cool.
I still need to see, I don't think I've seen anything Hitchcock in theaters. There's a Stanford Theater in the Bay Area in Palo Alto. They usually do like a month. They show nothing but old movies, and they usually do like a month where they just kind of focus on Hitchcock. And I think in July or August, they did a month of Hitchcock, and they showed this. And I was kind of bummed I wasn't up there for that.
Are they going to do it again, you think?
They usually do it, yeah. It's one of those theaters, dude. They have like the organist playing before the shows, and like popcorn is fucking like $3, and the soda's like $1.50.
For the end of January, Chris Pawlak is coming back to take over the show. And we've got the whole year lined up for his takeovers. And this first one is going to be another movie that you probably don't know. From, I think it came out in 2000. It's called Sexy Beast. It's with Sir Ben Kingsley, Ray Winston, Ian McShane, stellar cast. A little, I feel like it's a very contained British gangster film that actually, a lot of it takes place in Spain. You gotta watch the movie to find out why. But it's pretty cool.
Is it streaming anywhere?
It's on Paramount Plus for anybody who is interested. You know, rent the movie digitally or pick it up, what have you. I know it's on the Apple Store for a couple dollars to rent. It's a good movie, and it's also short, like Rope.
Oh, really?
It's like an hour 28.
Oh shit.
Hour 30. Yeah.
And you said 2000?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had never seen it. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's one I think that slipped through the cracks. I don't remember it getting a very big marketing push.
Had you seen it before?
One time. Years ago, maybe like when it came out on VHS in fucking 2000, 2001. You know how movies took a really long time to come out back then.
It was like 4 to 6 months, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like fucking a month, 2 months later, and it's already out.
Yeah, like Night Swim is on digital already.
Yeah, I just saw that.
What the hell?
It's still playing in theaters.
Yeah.
You kids don't know the struggle.
We have it good now.
We have it good, but I think we had it better, dude. Like, did you ever go to My dad used to take me to Tower Records on Monday nights, because movies and new music would drop Tuesday nights.
Yeah, same thing with the rentals.
Yeah. So we would go. My dad would take me at midnight on like a school night, and I'd go like get all the movies or music, that I wanted physically. But a lot of times I was just going for movies. But you had to wait, like I said, like the 4 to 6 months, and then it finally came out. Now you guys just get it fucking instantly.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like there's no
fanfare.
The anticipation is different.
It's gonna go back to fucking people scouring fucking DVD, all those movies that were like in the DVD used section for like $1 at your local like store, like Streetlight Records or Rasputin in the Bay Area. That all those DVDs are gonna become fucking hot commodities to watch. Especially if they keep on charging you $72 every time they take ads away from fucking streaming services.
Oh yeah. But next week, Sexy Beast, Chris Pawlak is coming back. This was a lot of fun, Ryan, as it always is.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice to be in the same room with you.
I know.
Follow us on Instagram at @dropthemic_podcast. We have a new TikTok now that seems to be being well received.
He's getting the hang of it, kids. He really is.
Yeah, right. My old ass. Call me Phil because I'm old. It's our TikTok handle is @dropthemicpod altogether, of course. Check us out on there. We're getting some traction. It's exciting. Follow us on YouTube, also @dropthemicpod. Or stream us wherever you subscribe to podcasts. We're on, a bunch of apps such as Spotify, Spreaker, Luminary, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, you name it. We should be on there, all the third-party apps. Check us out. It would mean a great deal. Give us a nice little 5-star rating, maybe a cool review, positive review, please. Please. I think we're going to get out of here. This is Ryan Jimenez and Wesley Swanson signing off, saying good fight.
Good night.
Well, now, you don't really approve of murder, Rupert, if I may.
You may, and I do. Think of the problems it would solve. Unemployment, poverty, standing in line for theater tickets.
I must say I've had a perfectly dreadful time getting tickets for that new musical. What's it called? You know.
The something with what's-her-name? My dear Miss Atwater, careful application of the trigger finger and a pair of seats in the first row is yours for the shooting. And have you had any difficulty in getting into our Velvet Rope restaurant?
Frightful.
A very simple matter. A flick of the knife, madame. And if you'll kindly step this way. Oh, no, step over the head waiter's body. Thank you. And here's your table.
Rupert, you're the end.
There's a hotel clerk I could cheerfully flick a knife at.
Oh, no, sorry. Knives may not be used on hotel employees. They are in the death by slow torture category.
Oh.
Along with bird lovers, small children, and tap dancers. Landlords, of course, are another matter. You're seeking an apartment? Call on our Miss Sashwaite of the Blunt Instrument Department.
What a divine idea. If it suits your purpose, merely... But then we'd all be murdering each other.
Oh, no. Oh, no. After all, murder is, or should be, an art. Not one of the 7 lively, perhaps, but an art, nevertheless. And as such, the privilege of committing it should be reserved for those few who are really superior individuals.
And the victims, inferior beings whose lives are unimportant anyway.
Obviously. Now, mind you, I don't hold with the extremists who feel that there should be open season for murder all year round. No. Personally, I would prefer to have Cut a Throat Week or Strangulation Day.
Probably a symptom of approaching senility, but I must confess I really don't appreciate this morbid humor.
Well, the humor was unintentional.
But you're not serious about these theories.
Of course he is.
Oh, you're both pulling my leg.
No, why do you think that?
Well, Brandon, the notion that murder is an art which a few superior beings should be allowed to practice.
In season.